Among the CCDH's research into Twitter, it has found that the volume of tweets containing slurs have risen by up to 202%. Elon Musk, he is the sole owner of what was formerly referred to as Twitter, and now referred to as X. I don't know. I guess the guy's a big fan of neopronouns. I'm not 100% sure. Elon Musk kind of markets himself as a free speech warrior, as a bulwark against the encroaching censorship of speech on the internet, which unfortunately kind of runs a bit contradictory to him suing a hate speech research group that's been monitoring Twitter and other social media. So let's go take a look. That seems like unreasonable, right? Like, you would think. I mean, we seem to be doing good work. It's good to know these sorts of things. Twitter threatens to sue hate speech research group over claims that hateful racist content has proliferated under Elon Musk's ownership. Elon Musk has taken legal action at the Center of Countering Digital Hate, an independent research nonprofit group, over the organization's findings that since the multi-billionaire acquired Twitter, now called X, hate, racism, and disinformation on the social media platform has substantially increased. Musk and his legal team, led by attorney Alex Spiro at Quinn Emanuel, have engaged in an aggressive campaign to intimidate, bully, and silence CCDH, or that's the Center for Countering Digital Hate. The organization sent a statement released Monday. While Elon Musk proclaims to be a, quote, free speech absolutist, I didn't even use that terminology, but I'm not surprised he feels that way. His actions against CCDH show the lengths he will go to silence those who seek to hold him to account. The CCDH recently published findings that Twitter failed to take action against 99 of 100 Twitter Blue accounts the organization reported for hate speech violations. A July 20th letter from Spiro to the organization called the CCDH research's false, misleading, or both. Who says or both? It's just whichever one you subscribe to, and said X Corp, the platform's parent company, is investigating whether CCDH's false and misleading claims about Twitter are actionable. I can almost guarantee you they're not. Under U.S. law prohibiting unfair competition, the company, he wrote, has, quote, reason to believe that CCDH is quote, supported by funding from X Corp's commercial competitors, as well as government entities and their affiliates. So literally doing the Fed op? Okay. Twitter takes its commitment to free speech and commitment to free speech, the enforcement of its rules. Let's zoom in a little bit. These old eyes. The enforcement of its rules, policies, and policies protecting users, and its strong relationship with its advertising partners, all extremely seriously. To the extent that CCDH is passing off as impartial, quote, research material, that is in fact being funded in support of an ulterior agenda, your representations are all more misleading. Notice, okay, so do you notice that they haven't, that like nowhere in here did they challenge the validity of this? Just that like, hey, you might have taken money from people who would like to see the downfall of X or Twitter. Let's be honest. We're just gonna, you know what? Let's do it right now. We're not calling it X. It's Twitter. Fuck that. Because that's the thing. They'll say misleading, which, like, they don't provide any evidence for. And nowhere have they refuted any of these claims, just that it'd be really convenient for competitors for this to be true. Which, two things can be true at once. Twitter cannot be doing what it's supposed to be doing in terms of its, what's the word I'm looking for? Moderation. And that can also be helpful to other rival companies. Like, those two things can be true and not necessarily connected. Let's see. Musk in a post Monday about the brewing legal dispute. Oh, we'll take a look. Wrote, let's pull the mask off this organization. Okay, let's see. Let's pull the mask off this organization and see who's really behind it. Feds all the way down. Of course. please do it. Like, what's funny is he says this, and it's like he says this kind of LARPy bullshit, but at the end of the day, the organization is a nonprofit, and like, like there's no there. It's just him being conspiratorial. Like, you take off the hood, the like mask here, and it would just be another mask, because there's not hiding anything. They're just revealing how poorly Twitter's moderation has been. And like, I don't spend enough time on Twitter to really be able to make this assessment, but like, I've heard enough people. Sorry, there's a lot of cat hair on that. I've heard enough people tell me and vocalize that like Twitter has become just an absolute cesspit of racists, of hate speech, of like just a lot of stuff. So, this all kind of tracks with what I've heard, at least, about it. I'm not a big Twitter account, so there's also that. But I'm not the most active on social media anyway. But in a letter dated July 31st to Spiro from Roberta Kaplan and of Kaplan, Hecker, and Fink, which is representing CCDH, wrote that the research group, quote, will not be bullied by your clients. Kaplan's letter did not address the group's sources of funding, but said, quote, your assertion that the goal in CCDH's research and reporting is to benefit Twitter's competitors ignores the fact that CCDH has published critical, highly publicized reports about other platforms, including Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Yeah, at the end of the day, like, you would have to like, it'd be one thing if CCDH just randomly popped up and started reporting on Twitter, but they're not. They've been reporting on all these others. And like, again, since, if they've been doing this research, on like this ongoing research, then they'll kind of they should be able to tell you like, oh yeah, there's like this huge drop off when Musk took power, took control of Twitter. Your clients, of course, are free to pursue litigation if they choose to do so, but they should be mindful of the risks involved in bringing frivolous claims to intimidate thoughtful critiques and stifle legitimate commentary on issues of clear public interest. And they should also know that CCDH is fully prepared to defend itself and its ability to continue pursuing its public mission. If X Corp/Twitter decides to sue CCDH, Kaplan added in the letter, quote, please be advised that CCDH intends to seek immediate discovery regarding hate speech and misinformation on the Twitter platform, Twitter's policies, and the practices relating to these issues, and Twitter's advertising revenue. In that event, a court will determine for itself the truth of the statements in our client's reports in accordance with the time-tested rules of civil procedure. And, ooh, damn. So, okay. So this is how you know that they're never going to take action and they're just going to bitch online about it. Because, if they did that, yes, this group would just demand that, like, all of Twitter's policy practices and everything else be dragged into the public sphere and made public record, which you can almost be guaranteed that Elon Musk does not want. And none of these companies want their, the way that they operate revealed to the public. It's just not something I think they're willing to risk. In its response, the CCDH also noted that Musk, in posts on Twitter, has called the organization evil and CEO Imran Ahmed a, quote, rat. Elon Musk, nice Jew posting there. Love that. Elon Musk's actions represent a brazen attempt to silence honest criticism and independent research in the desperate hope that he can stem the tide of negative stories and rebuild his relationship with advertisers. Imran Ahmed, CEO of the Center of CCDH, said in a statement, quote, advertisers are fleeing his platform for one clear reason. Elon Musk has supported the proliferation of hate and racism on it, and he doesn't care to stop it. Musk is targeting CCDH because we reveal the truth about the spread of hate and disinformation on Twitter under his ownership, and it's impacting his bottom line. CCDH will continue to hold social media companies that spread hate and disinformation online accountable to the public. Among the CCDH's research into Twitter, it has found that the volume of tweets containing slurs have risen by up to 202%. Since Musk's takeover of Twitter. The number of tweets linking LGBTQ plus people to, quote, grooming have more than doubled over that time, and that paid for verification is, quote, helping spread disinformation. Obviously, because if you can get your post, if the content of your post you can get boosted just by paying your little $8 a month to your digital daddy, then like, yeah, you're gonna do that. so that you can, spread more of this shit. Lovely. Just lovely system they've got over there at Twitter. Musk has hired ex-NBC Universal ad exec Linda Yaccarino as Twitter's CEO, hoping to reverse the company's dramatic drop in ad revenue. In a July 15th tweet, Musk said Twitter's cash flow remains negative because of an approximately 50% decline in advertising revenue and a heavy debt load. Twitter has claimed that hate speech occurs at extremely low rates on the platform and estimates that hate speech impressions have declined 30% since Musk took over Twitter. Well, what's funny is like, if at the end of the day, Elon Musk brought back a bunch of, like, didn't he allow Nick Fuentes back on the platform and a bunch of other people who were banned for, hate speech and stuff like that? So the idea that it somehow dropped when you brought those people back, and like even after you bring those kinds of folks back, like is insane. Obviously that wouldn't be the case. But this is again, like, they've said this is their numbers, but obviously they would want their numbers to be low. It's kind of like, yeah, you were gonna lie. You were always gonna lie. Like, why would you be honest to begin with? Let's see. More than 99% of content users and advertisers see on Twitter is healthy. The Twitter X 99%. Okay. Trust me, not, for the accounts that I follow, that damn sure is not the case at all. On a July 18th post. According to Twitter, it has applied warning labels to more than 700,000 posts, violated its hate speech conduct policy since April, and that it, quote, proactively prevents ads from appearing adjacent to content that we label. Sure it does. Twitter said that in March of 2023, it partnered with social media management vendor Sprinkler, without the E. God, why is every company just like, oh, a normal word, but we'll just take out one letter? To, quote, understand, measure, and reduce hate speech using its AI-based model, and to further our commitment to create a brand-safe environment for our agencies and advertisers. According to the company, Sprinkler's independent model showed that daily English language hate speech impressions are even lower than Twitter's own model estimates. Sprinkler estimated the average daily number of hate speech impressions versus overall impressions to be 0.003% compared with Twitter's estimate of 0.012 for the record for the period of January 1st through May 31st, 2023. Okay, so we've seen this before. Do you remember when Norfolk Southern hired a third-party company to do testing of the water, and it came back that, hey, guess what? The water is totally clean. And then, like, normal people would, like, drink the water, get sick, have consistent symptoms, like, across, like, multiple different families. And they would go, wait, everyone's obviously getting sick from the same water source. What do you mean it's safe? And we all understand that Norfolk Southern didn't want to do the testing themselves, or at the very least might not have probably had the resources. So what do? They hired a private company to come in, do the tests, and give them the results that they were looking for. Because that, like, the customers in that case are Norfolk Southern. The customers for whatever that testing company was, those aren't like civil servants. Those people's customers aren't the citizens in that region. Their customers are Norfolk Southern. So they are going to give Norfolk Southern the thing that they are looking for. And we see this all, and that's no different than this. This is just, at the end of the day, a company wanting to get a certain answer. So they hire some other group to do the test and give them the answer that they want. That's not really anything different. This isn't a group that studies, everybody. This is just a group to validate the claims that Twitter wants to make, usually kind of lowballing them even more than what Twitter says. It's a pretty easy grift, quite frankly. But, just let it be known that at the end of the day, Twitter's CEO, Elon Musk, is not interested in free speech. He's not interested in the broad ability for people to communicate online freely. He's not interested in, whatever woke mind virus thing he was talking about a couple months ago. No. Let's be clear. Elon Musk is interested in bilking money from people who have a really weird affinity for him online. That's why he moved the blue check to a paywall. That's why there's been almost no like what's the word? Meaningful improvement to the actual site. Twitter since Elon Musk took control of it has not improved for daily users, has only become more paywalled, and has now become like a pay to play or a pay to win service. Like the only and with his with the move to trying to move Twitter into becoming X or whatever, it's become kind of clear he wants to be another PayPal. He wants to be taking a couple cents out of every transaction that everybody could possibly be making around the world. That's the overall goal. This is just make some money off of a bunch of stooges who are willing to give me $8 for a blue check mark and some preferential treatment, when before you could just get a blue check mark if you were notable and had a verified email. But again, all it is paywalling content. The thing, the thing that they tell, like at the end of all YouTube videos where they tell you to like click on one of these like things to watch more videos. Yeah, I've been meaning to film one of those. So that's what I was doing. I was just setting it up to film one.